Welcome to Reset with Me, the podcast that explores the intricate relationship between weight loss and mental health. I'm your host, Tina Arnold, and today we're tackling a tough topic, the cold, hard truth about weight loss that we often avoid confronting. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Weight loss is not easy. It's really not. Despite what fad diets and quick fix solutions may promise, shedding pounds and maintaining a healthy weight requires dedication, consistency, and hard work. Another harsh reality is that there are no shortcuts or magic pills when it comes to sustainable weight loss. While crash diets or extreme measures may yield temporary results, they often lead to rebound weight gain and negative impacts on our physical and mental health in the long run. So, the hot topic right now in the weight loss world is Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, all of the weight loss shots, right? I'm on one. I take Wegovy. Now, here's my thing. Let me get it out of the way. It's not a quick fix, and it's not a magic shot. Contrary to what people believe, it's very much like surgery. It's a tool. And this isn't really meant for one shot or a month worth of shots or 6 months worth of shots and you're done and you're magically fixed. From my understanding, with conversations that I've had with my doctor, this is long term and it may possibly be for life. Because, well, for two reasons, I guess. Excuse me. Because for one, obesity is a medical problem. It's not a lazy problem. It is an actual medical issue. There are so many different things that contribute to us being overweight, right? And for me, I was not going into my doctor looking for a quick fix for weight loss. I wasn't even there about weight loss. I went in and I was having a discussion with her about symptoms that I was having. And we found out that day with tests that I had PCOS and I'm pre-diabetic. And my numbers did not look good. And it was scary. And I've talked about this in another podcast. So if you've seen that one, you know. And so that's why I got on Wegovy. Now, to me, this is very similar to somebody that has to be on Zoloft or Prozac or Latuda for depression or anxiety, or if, you know, somebody that has to have long-term medications for blood pressure, heart disease, you know, it's all medical issues that we need help with. And nobody seems to bat an eye if somebody needs blood pressure medicine for the rest of their life, or Zoloft, or something along those lines. But people are very upset about the Wegovy and Ozempic and all of that stuff right now, and they're calling it a fad thing, not a diet, but a quick fix, a cheat. It is not. I'm here to tell you right now. Today, I went on a date with Johnny, and I went to, first of all, before I tell you what I had, I'm going to tell you. Johnny and I have been together for 22 years, January. This is our 22nd wedding anniversary year. And for 22 years, I've wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory, but we don't drive into Atlanta. And so we did not know until recently that we had one close to us at the Mall of Georgia. So today we went and we had our date. And it was wonderful. But I tried both of the breads, and I'm on the shot, y'all. I had a piece of both of the breads, the white bread and the brown bread. The wheat bread. I had 2 of the macaroni and cheese ball things that they have for the appetizer. So I had 2 of the macaroni and cheese balls. And then I had about a third of the seafood gumbo. And then I am not going to the Cheesecake Factory after 22 years and not getting cheesecake. So I got the cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough, cheesecake with pecans. It was amazing. I ate probably half of it, maybe a little bit less, and brought the rest home to Mary. But you can eat through the shot. It is not a magic fix. It is not, boom, you have the answer. You took the shot, you're cheating. You're going to lose weight no matter what you do now. No, I can guarantee you that tomorrow my scale is going to have moved in the wrong direction. I can also guarantee you that I am not going to cry over it. Because I know now, at 43 years old, I think I'm 43. Yes, 43 years old, that weight loss is not linear. I can't say it. It's not a straight line, y'all. I know that we're going to go up and down, okay, before we get to our goal. But with dedication, consistency, and the hard work that I'm putting in, the shot helps, okay? It's just like the surgery, it helps. It's also important to acknowledge that weight loss is not linear. Progress is rarely steady, and setbacks are inevitable. Plateaus, fluctuations, and moments of frustration are all part of the journey, and it's essential to approach them with patience and resilience. Weight loss is never going to be from point A to point B. It is going to be like this. Okay, but it's very, very important for us to accept that that is the normal, so that we don't beat ourselves up when we go and have the cheesecake, okay, or when we eat the bread. There are no monster foods, okay? And the unfortunate thing is that we have been brainwashed and we've been taught to believe that there are good foods and bad foods. Favorite thing that I have seen all week this week was a quote that said, "Food does not have morals." It cannot be good and it cannot be bad. It is just food. It is up to us to determine how to fuel our bodies in an appropriate measure to how we're going to exercise our bodies and move our bodies to burn what we have fed it, right? So I can go and have the bread, and I can have the macaroni and cheese balls, and I can have the rice, and I can have the cheesecake, as long as I know I'm going to go upstairs tonight and I'm going to do 45 minutes to an hour on the hula hoop. Okay? It's got to be about balance, not restriction. Additionally, we must confront the role of privilege and systemic barriers in the realm of weight loss. It's a big one, y'all. Factors such as socioeconomic status, access to healthy food options, and environmental influences can significantly impact an individual's ability to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. And what I mean by that is there are some weeks where I cannot afford specialty foods for how I prefer to eat to keep my body balanced, how I prefer it to be balanced. And what I mean by that is, so I don't follow a fad diet. I don't follow any kind of diet. But my body feels best when I am eating low carb 80 to 85% of the time. So I want to have rice, potatoes, macaroni and cheese sprinkled throughout the week, but not every day, and definitely not for every meal, because my body does not respond well to that. It responds better to the sprinkling of the carbs throughout the week. And by the carbs, I mean the heavy carbs, because I do still eat like blueberries and stuff like that all week long. I do have what I call lighter carbs throughout the week, every day. But for me to not have the fatigue and the bloat and just that nasty rundown, like feeling like I've just taken a melatonin pretty much, feeling from my food, I have to balance things well. And in order to do that, you have to have a pretty good grocery budget now. Because groceries, let's face it, they've gone through the roof. And if you're buying this way for this part of your family, and this way for you, and this way costs a little bit more, then it's going to get tough. It's going to get really, you got to get creative about it. So that's what this means about, the socioeconomic status, people's ability to get to what the industry deems diet food. It might not be so simple for them. Our country is based off of letting the food that's not so great for you remain cost effective. So that's why, salads cost more than a cheeseburger meal a lot of the time. So that's something that you have to factor in. Not everybody is just so readily, or not, that diet food is not so readily available to everybody. Diet food. Now let's address the truth that many of us struggle to accept. Our relationship with food and our bodies can be complex and emotionally charged. Unhealthy patterns of eating, emotional eating, and body image issues are common barriers that can hinder our progress towards weight loss goals. So what did I just say? Y'all, this is Megan's shirt. I wore it out yesterday with Johnny, and he was like, "Oh, really? I didn't even make it onto the shirt." I said, "It's not my shirt, babe." Our relationship with food and our bodies, if we've made it to this point, it's probably not the best, right? We're probably struggling in one of those areas or both. I know people probably get sick of hearing this, but we are trained. We are trained from a young age to have negative thoughts around food and to focus so much on our body and what it looks like. Not how it feels so much, but what it looks like. Media, the people around us, it's our peers, our family members, friends. We're taught to hyper-focus on these areas, even if we're not overweight yet. We hear about it everywhere. You hear about, especially women's bodies, everywhere. You can't get away from it. Everywhere you turn, there's somebody commenting on women's bodies and how they look great or how they don't look great, or how she needs to fix this or she needs to fix that, or how that's just perfect. And so we develop these ideas of what is acceptable and what's unacceptable, what's perfection and what's imperfection. and we bring that with us throughout our lives. And so that, you can't help but have that mold your view of yourself and others. And because of that, we can develop unhealthy patterns of eating. And it's like, let me say, for example, and I've tried very hard not to do this with my kids, although I will say, as they've gotten older, for some reason, I have found myself doing this a little bit more, and it drives me crazy. And even as I'm doing it, I hear myself, but I'm thinking, I don't know what else to do. Like, this is how I'm hardwired. But think about when you were a kid and you would fall and you would get hurt and you would come home crying, and your mom would do what? For a lot of us, I won't say most, but for a lot of us, mom was just trying to help. She wasn't trying to give us any kind of complexes or shape our little minds into unhealthy ways. She was trying to help. So she would bandage us up, she would kiss us on the forehead, and then she'd say, "What kind of ice cream do you want?" And we would get our bowl of ice cream because we got hurt and we were upset. And we bring that into adulthood, and that becomes how we cope with upsets. We become emotional eaters. We become stress eaters. And because it grows up with us, it becomes a part of us. We have to retrain all of that. And that's so difficult to do. But difficult does not mean that it's not worth it. Despite these harsh realities, there is hope. By acknowledging and accepting the truth about weight loss, we can begin to approach our journey with a mindset of self-compassion, patience, and realism. And that last one is something that a lot of us don't recognize. It escapes us. We set all these goals, okay, and we expect that we're going to be able to say, no more of this. I'm laying this down. I'm pushing this away. I'm going to work out 5 or 6 days a week, 30 minutes a day, until I can get up to an hour a day. I'm going to lose all of my weight in 6 months to a year. I want to lose 5 to 10 pounds a week. These goals are not realistic. They're often not achievable. And they're definitely not sustainable long term. Realistically, it's better to start with smaller goals. So I do 5 to 10 pound increments. So my goal right now, I weighed, what was I? I've been fluctuating because Johnny's had vacation and we've had stuff that we've been doing, and I have purposely just let go. Okay, so I have purposely taken my focus off of this and just said my focus is going to be on enjoying my husband and my time with him and having fun and eating what I want and not, being hard focused on my weight loss journey right this second. I will come back to it. I won't let go of it for too long because then things will get out of hand. But my goals, I weighed the other day. I was at 274. And I've been fluctuating between 274 and 278. And my goals are very small at first. So I have my long-term goals. Those are my bigger goals. And then I have my short-term goals, my smaller goals. And my first goal was to get to 270 pounds. Okay, and then after that, my next goal will be 250 pounds. And I will keep going that way until I get to my ultimate end goal, which, between you and me, there's never really an end goal, because once you reach your idea of what your end goal is, then you're in maintenance. The struggle never really goes away. So, rather than seeking quick fixes or drastic measures, let's focus on making sustainable lifestyle changes that support our overall health and well-being. Now, I started to say something earlier with the Wegovy and I lost track because of my ADHD brain. I'm scatterbrained. But I think this is part of the reason why, for a lot of us, the shot has to be long-term with no end date in sight. Because we are not really known for diving deep into these lifestyle changes that we can maintain forever. And so what happens is that the pills or the shots, they do help us, okay? They help us by slowing down digestion, making us not feel as hungry as often. It does help to control the cravings a little bit. Although if you put cheesecake in front of me, I'm going to crave it until it's in my face. So it does help, but in order to be able to come off of those things eventually, you would have to really focus and commit to changing your lifestyle ways, the way that you see food, the way that, not like ocean food, but the way that you think about food and the way that you behave around food and with food and what you use food for. Are you using it as a Band-Aid, as many of us do, or are you using it to fuel your body? So until you make those changes, then yes, you probably have to stay on the shot long term. Sustainable lifestyle changes would be, learning about nutrition and how your body works with and handles certain foods. Mindful eating, to where you're not on the phone while you're eating, or you're not watching TV while you're eating, and then you're just mindlessly putting things into your mouth. But you're actually sitting there and you're feeling the food on your tongue, and you're savoring the taste and the flavor and the smells and the textures until you are recognizing your full cues and you know when to stop. Those are sustainable lifestyle changes. That's what is going to go with you long term. Now, the changes that support our overall health and well-being. This may involve adopting a balanced approach to nutrition, like we just spoke about, incorporating regular physical activity, prioritizing sleep and stress management, two very, very, very big things that most people sleep on, no pun intended, and seeking support from qualified professionals when needed. We're going to go deeper into this in this next segment. Sleep and stress management. I see now that I did not really dive deep into that here, but we need to, okay? All right, so in my reset group, right, the two main things that seem to be at the top of the pyramid for our issues with how we handle things and our eating and everything, like it all starts up here with sleep and stress. We don't handle stress very well. A lot of us that have problems with obesity, we never really got the tools for some reason to handle emotions or stress. And so instead of feeling our feelings and working through them, instead of having the tools, the proper tools that we need in our arsenal to help us handle stressful situations, we eat. We eat through it, because then we're covering it and we don't have to deal with it. We'll come back to that. We sweep it under the rug. But that is so unhealthy for us in so many ways, on so many different levels. I have so many women that tell me, I can't sleep. I'm up until all hours of the morning. I'm getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, if that. I'm going crazy. You know, of course you are. If you are not maintaining a healthy sleep schedule, everything is going to stress you out so much easier. You're going to be irritable. It's going to just not be a healthy situation for you. I do not want to be one of those people that is like, take meds. But take meds. When I have trouble sleeping, y'all, I have to take 5 milligrams of melatonin. Now, when I first started out with it, I only needed 1 and it knocked me out. Of course, I would tell you, speak to your doctor first. Make sure that it's okay for you to take melatonin. But if you are really, okay, listen, do a hot Epsom salt bath before bed. Don't sleep on this. Listen to me. I swear by Epsom salt baths. If you ask any of my kids, they come to me, they have a bellyache, a headache, body aches, they're constipated, they have a toothache. If they come to me, okay, they have a splinter, I look at them and most of the time now, I don't even have to say anything. I look at them, make eye contact, and they say, Epsom salt bath. It works wonders, okay? So what I do is I have an Epsom salt bath and I choose my scent of Epsom salt wisely. I like Dr. Teal's, and I like different scents for different things. Most of the time, I get the muscle relaxing Epsom salt. I love the eucalyptus. Johnny likes the oats and honey. The kids like the lavender, and then they have a melatonin one. I turn on either really soft piano music or like Native American music or monks chanting or a meditation that's really just low key, quiet, soothing. You know, they have the same tone of voice throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So I do that. I turn that on. I turn the lights off and I light my candles. Okay? And I lay there and I just listen and I let everything wash off of me. I let everything just go away. And I just relax. Then, okay, because this is a process. You get out, you brush your hair, you put on your lotion, you spray on your Smell Good, or you put on your, I can't think of the word, essential oils. There we go. Did I say brush your teeth? Brush your teeth. And then I go to my bedroom. I put on my most comfortable pajamas. If my bed is not already made, which it probably isn't, I make up my bed before I get into it. I fluff up my pillows. I turn on my Cool Mist Vicks humidifier. I turn all the lights off. Johnny has on the dresser this little glass orb, and it has like this design inside of it of like spun glass, and it sits on a base that changes light colors underneath it. And so on the ceiling it has the light colors changing. I turn on my lamp, which has like one of the dim amber lights in it, and the Vicks has a light on it too. Y'all, I love lights. I'm about to have Johnny hang like little fairy lights in our bedroom all over. I like dim lights. I don't like sunlight, and I don't like big bright lights. Anyway, I'm getting away from this. They have pillow sprays, linen sprays that you can get for aromatherapy for bedtime. You can do that. I do not suggest having anything to eat if it sits heavy. If you can help not eating before bed, an hour before bed, I would do that. But if you have to, if you must, have yogurt, not the sugary kind, but real yogurt, or like a handful of grapes or strawberries, something light. And then sit down in your freshly made bed, wash your sheets. This is your reminder. And read, okay? Read a self-help book. It's always good. Write in your journal. You need a gratitude journal, okay? Track your day in your tracking journal. What else? Now, I am going to suggest no screen time. Okay, no screen time an hour before bed. Because that's what they tell me to say. I fall asleep with my phone in my hand because I'm still working when I go to bed. And I fall asleep and it goes stoomp and hits me on the nose, and I wake up. And I go back to working. Or if I'm playing on my game because I finished working, somehow by some miracle of God, I finished working. I play Evermerge. Go check it out. Just do what you can to relax. Okay, do what works for you, but get out of your head. Lay down the day. Let it go. There's nothing you can do about it now. Okay? And there's nothing that you can do about tonight. So you have to figure out how to lay it down and let it go. Okay? Put it to sleep, and then you can go to sleep. All right. As we conclude today's episode, I encourage you to embrace the truth about weight loss with courage and honesty. By facing the challenges head on and committing to a journey of self-discovery and growth, we can unlock our full potential and create lasting change in our lives. And that is the truth. That is the truth. If you put as much positive time into yourself as you do everything else, if you put as much focus on your well-being, you have the potential to be the very best version of yourself. It's doable. You can do it. All right, thank you for joining me on this episode of Reset with Me. Remember to subscribe for more insightful conversations on weight loss, mental health, and personal growth. Until next time, stay resilient, stay empowered, and keep resetting with me.